Labor Day.
After Labor Day. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're on the air. Welcome to the Tuesday, June 18th, 2013 meeting of the Hot Springs Board of Directors. And before we get started, I am going to declare that all of you people that are on staff that are wearing ties and jackets don't have to do that. We're going to summer attire until Labor Day. How's that? I didn't know I had to say that for them to take off their jackets. They just told me. So cool down. You can even turn the air cooler if you want to, since y'all are all in jackets.
It's on 57.
Oh, 57, okay. Well, take off your jackets. Okay, welcome. And tonight our invocation will be led by Oneida Young, to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And please stand with me at this time. Oneida.
Hi, it's an honor to be here tonight. I'm not used to public speaking, so you'll just have to bear with me a little bit here. My prayer might be a little different tonight. I first wanted to start out with just a little excerpt from a poem to start it out. Why does it occur to me everything is waiting anxiously? Something is definitely out of sync. Could it be the way I think? I think not, least I confess, that nothing causes this duress. And if nothing, then why do I, with troubled soul and dry eyes, cry? Everyone senses something is wrong. All seems in confusion. Truth has fallen in the streets, and we are caught in deep delusion. And uneasiness stirs in the restless air. It whispers, solve the mystery if you dare. With eyes wide shut we go our way, as if it's just another day. But in truth it's getting late, and we refuse to contemplate a world so cluttered with confusion, it seems there is no resolution. Never looking back to see how the present came to be, and the future, who can guess? It fills us with misgiving. But in the present we all know that life is more than living. And so we take our nonchalance and we create an ambiance. Forsaken of reality, we do this so we cannot see how we have lost the former glory, and we have created our own story. Yes, we have created our own story, and the Lord might ask, how's that working out for you? And I might answer, it's a long road out of Eden. So with this in mind, I pray, Lord, we acknowledge that our world today is in chaos and confusion with seemingly insurmountable problems. Our small community here is but a microcosm of the general state of man. Howbeit, I am grateful that here in this community we are still allowed to ask your blessings in a public place. So I ask you to bless this meeting, to bless those board members and the leaders of our city. I ask you to bless their spouses, children, grandchildren, and families. Please bless our board members with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and courage. Bless them with good health, prosperity, and peace in their personal lives. Bless them as they make decisions that affect many lives. Help them to remain the good guys and base their decisions on what is best for the people they represent. You tell us to pray for the leaders of our country and those in authority that we may live in peace. May this be so. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I hereby call this meeting to order. Would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Davidson.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
McCabe.
Here.
Garcia.
Here.
Foley.
Here.
Carney.
Here. Okay, we're all here. Are there any corrections, additions, deletions, or modifications to the agenda, including items, if any, to be removed from the consent agenda? Okay, hearing none. You have one?
I said I move it be approved.
Okay. Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the agenda? I have the motion. Is there a second? Okay. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is adopted. The second item of business is to consider the approval of the minutes of the board meeting for the regular meeting held on June the 4th. Are there any corrections, additions, deletions, or modifications to the minutes? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is adopted. Thank you. In an effort to afford everyone an equal and orderly opportunity to address the items on tonight's agenda, I want to remind our citizens and our guests that we adhere to a 3-minute limit on your comments, and for your convenience, we will display a clock timer on the monitors. And out of respect for all of us, we ask that you please honor this request. While members of the board may have questions of the speakers, I ask that any general comments be made at the discussion after all the speakers have been heard. We also ask that you silence your cell phones and during the meeting and refrain from any disruptions, booings, whatever that you might think about doing during the meeting. We ask that you remain in order, and should you leave prior to the conclusion of the meeting, please do so quietly. Thank you all for being here. We thank you for having an interest in the business of your community, and we thank you. We want you all to know that you're our guests tonight, and we appreciate you being here. At this time, we have guests to recognize, and LaJean Burnett is one of my favorite people in the whole world. Would you please come forward? And she represents Garland County Cares, of which I am on the board of directors, and I am so grateful for the work they do.
Okay. First of all, you said I'm LaJean Burnett with Garland County Cares. I'm a tobacco prevention coordinator, and I work with Tana Butzlaff, which did not think I was going to call her up today.
You stand up, Tana. Tana, would you go ahead and stand up? She's the one that directs Garland County Cares. We appreciate, and all the others that are here from
I have several people
Cares.
that are here with Arkansas Department of Health.
Yes.
Behind the camera. Our grant administrator, Christy Campbell, Matt Mitchell. Go ahead, stand up.
Good to have you here.
And also have Catherine McDonald with Coalition for Tobacco-Free Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And Janet McAdams, my sidekick for doing programs for pregnant women, who's worked diligent with me I work with her when she does safety baby showers to do the tobacco portion of that. And tonight we want to recognize Parks and Recreation for implementing tobacco-free zone for our children, because we know that secondhand smoke does cause children to miss days in school, additional ear infections, and several other health issues. And what you will be seeing, if some of you could bring those up so that everyone can see them. You have the Spanish. Jean, why are you sitting there?
Jean Wallace, please come up.
Okay.
We have a Spanish version.
Oh.
Okay. And we just want to thank the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, because it's been a pretty long haul to get a policy put in place, and now we are all now part of the communities that are protecting our children while they're playing softball or just in the parks playing against secondhand smoke. So you will see these signs go up in our parks to encourage our participants to not smoke, coaches to not smoke in the dugouts with the kids while they're playing ball, that they can have healthy lungs. And our park committee doesn't have to work so hard picking up cigarette litter, because they do a wonderful job at keeping our parks clean.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jean, and the advisory committee for all your hard work in getting this implemented, because we greatly appreciate it. Okay.
And thank you for the donation of all the signs. Those were not, we didn't have to buy those. You
That's
gave
correct.
them to us.
It's our grant funding.
It's our, yeah.
Purchase more if we need to, or wherever
Okay.
we need it.
Okay,
And
great.
it's Garland County Cares, Stamp Out Smoking, Your Tobacco Dollars at Work, and SAMHSA, which is a drug-free communities grant. And just to let you know that Arkansas is one of the few states who spends their money on actual tobacco prevention and cessation. We don't build roads, fix roads, or any of that. It's strictly for the tobacco. So your tobacco dollars are at work in the state of Arkansas.
Would you give us the toll-free hotline number?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to quit smoking?
1-800-QUIT-NOW. It's open from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. And master level quit line coaches are available to for anyone who wants to quit smoking. 6 sessions for any individual. A pregnant woman has 10 sessions that they can call. It is free of charge, and also is offered a starter kit that's free to anyone who calls. And if you know anyone that wants to quit, encourage them and let them know that if they've been smoking for any length of time, sometimes it can take 7 to 10 times to quit. So quitting and staying quit is a process.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, you can, and turn around so she can get a picture. Oh, we should. Let me go down there and get him.
Be in there, Mayor.
Yeah.
We worked hard on this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
On the mayor, yeah.
Okay, great.
I do. I have
Christy, why are you on the other side of the camera?
Because this is where I need to be. Okay, are y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. And one more for good measure. 1, 2, 3. Good job, y'all.
And I forgot, IT touched up the design. It was crude at first, but I think, is it Brian?
Jeff Fields.
Jeff.
Jeff Fields for making this pretty.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. So a lot of people had a lot to do with that. We appreciate all of you. Okay. Do we have any other guests that we don't have written down that you have? No? Okay. Now we will have our city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor and board members. Last week was a very significant week for the city of Hot Springs and the surrounding community, and I wanted to highlight a couple of those if I can. The first, the city completed the first round of a long negotiation period with Central Arkansas Water, which controls all the remaining water supply at Lake DeGray. And the reason why that's significant is that if Hot Springs cannot or could not work out an agreement with Central Arkansas Water, our only alternative would have been to approach the Corps directly, which could have been long and contentious between the city and CAW and the Ouachita River Water District. What that means for Hot Springs and Garland County is that we have an opportunity to buy, probably by the end of this year, because it requires clearance by the Corps of Engineers, 20 million gallons per day capacity in Lake DeGray. Now, why that's significant is that water supply planning requires that you literally look out 50, 100 years and beyond. So when we talk about buying water supply, it's a final purchase. The thing to keep in mind is that, to my knowledge, there are no new Corps lakes being built in the country, probably will never be built again for a variety of different reasons, but obviously funding, but also permitting. And so Arkansas sits in a really strategic location because we have lakes that have quality water, which means less treatment cost, plus we have the opportunity to make a purchase out of those lakes before it is bought by other states, other individuals. So I think that's a real benchmark date or benchmark move in the future of this community. And a lot of people were involved in that. and a lot of people will have to be involved with that in the future. And so I think as our community continues on with that issue, you're going to see the true leaders of the community, including this board I work for, step up to the plate and get that done. Concurrently, we're also looking at water supply at Lake Ouachita, which is another lake that's available for water, not only for Hot Springs, but our friends up in Hot Springs Village and other cities in the area. And I think it behooves us all to get that locked down also. The water supply at these two lakes is relatively cheap. The cost of building a new 20 million gallon lake, if you were wanting to draw that much water out, would be in the neighborhood of $50 to $100 million, if it's even possible, because of land acquisition and probably condemnation. We're able to look at buying water from Lake DeGray at a fraction of that cost. And so I think we're moving ahead as a community, and I think last week was significant in that the Central Arkansas Water Board has voted to make that sale if we want the sale. And there's just some steps we have to go through. Secondly, there was a new state highway program, or road program, that was kicked into place when the half-cent sales tax vote was approved last November. And it created, along with all the projects that we're familiar with that have received a lot of publicity, the beginning of a city-state highway aid program where cities can submit projects where if roads are connecting one state highway to another. And since we have so many state highways here, one of the first projects that we submitted was a complete repaving of golf links between Central Avenue over to Malvern, which is a heavily traveled road, and it's one of our few east-west collectors between the two arterials. And the committee that allocates this money, it's a 9-member committee of mayors, recommended our project, along with many others, to be funded and to be incorporated into the state bid letting late this summer, early fall. And so we'll be getting $250,000 of your money back to Hot Springs to make that improvement work. And we hope this is the beginning of a yearly appropriation for worthwhile projects. And then finally, seeing two of our captains back there, Captain Jason Stacey, who's captain of the Patrol Division, and Chief Crary, Captain Crary, who's head of our professional standards, reminds me that last week we had a significant event happen here where, in coordination between the Hot Springs Police Department, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, talking about tobacco, and U.S. Marshal and the U.S. Attorney's Office in Fort Smith, we were able to capture in a dragnet 22 very bad guys and women who've been involved in distributing crack cocaine, not only in Hot Springs, but indeed the area. And this effort will, in our opinion, make a major dent in the drug sales that occur in this area. And we all know that drugs precipitate other crimes, prostitution, theft, robbery, violence. So I want to commend our police department and our chief for the leadership it took to do the legwork, the reconnaissance work of pinpointing who these people are and where they lived. So when the dragnet occurred a week ago, Thursday morning, we knew we'd have a high probability of success in making those arrests. So I personally want to thank the police department. I think they did a great job. I think it's going to help clean up the community, send a signal that we don't tolerate that here, and I think that will set the tone for the future climate and growth of this community. And so I wanted to take that opportunity to to extend my appreciation for the hard work they provide.
Right. We all do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Is that it?
That's it.
That's okay. Yes, we all do appreciate you guys and the risk that you're always taking every time you go out. We appreciate all of our public safety people who make this a better place to live. Clean Up Hot Springs was last week, wasn't it? So we appreciate that. Do any of our directors have announcements concerning upcoming events? Karen?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to remind the public that going on now through July 31st is the Hot Springs Fishing Challenge. And I know you've seen some winners in the newspaper that have caught tagged fish, but there are still 45 tagged fish available for you to go out to Lake Hamilton or Lake Catherine, and one of them is $10,000. So I think that would be worth some bait to go out and fish.
I can't understand why any of you are in here and not out fishing. Go fishing. Thank you, Karen. Anyone else? All right. Okay, the next we have an announcement of Director Suzanne Davidson as Assistant Mayor for July 2013 through December. And this is pursuant to the board's policy of rotating the assistant mayor position. District 1 is up for the July through December 2013. Therefore, Suzanne Davidson will be serving as assistant mayor beginning July 1st through December 31st. And thank you so much. We hope we don't have a real busy season, so that'll be great. And I appreciate that. And it was Elaine that was here last time, right?
Yes.
Yes, we do it by districts, so I'm not sure exactly how that goes, but I think it goes around district-wise. So
We'll go to Karen after that.
I think Karen, did you have it last time? Before Elaine? Yes, yeah. But thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, and then the acknowledgement of the board agenda and meeting dates for July through December 2013. Was that listed somewhere?
Yes. Part of the
You wanna-
packet. There's
The packet.
several.
So
Got
do you
it
want to
Tuesday.
speak to that, or we just?
There's
just
several
every-
dates. Yeah, there's over 20
I know.
dates, I
so
believe.
we pretty well kept it on Tuesday at 7 o'clock and
We did.
Tuesday at 4 o'clock. So just come out every other week and we'll be here all the way through Christmas. It worked out really well because sometimes we have to change those around at the Christmas holidays, but I think it's a 5-week thing, and so we don't even have to change. We don't have to change Christmas Eve.
We do not.
That is really good. So we're just consistent. Now, the next item of business is consideration of the consent agenda. Items in this section are of a routine nature and will be considered as one item of business without discussion. I will now entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
I so move.
Thank you. And is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Would you please call the roll?
Yes. Folly,
Aye.
Davidson,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
McCabe,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Carney.
Aye.
Adopted.
Thank you. Now, new business. The next item of business is to consider ordinance number 01336. First, I will entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read by title only. All in favor of the motion to suspend, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Council, would you please read by title?
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 01336, an ordinance authorizing eminent domain condemnation proceedings for the acquisition of a stormwater easement of certain real property in Hill Wheatley Jod subdivision owned by Jesse and Kayla Fully Love and for other purposes. That concludes your reading. If you now entertain a motion and a second to adopt and have discussion, if any.
Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, and discussion. Mr. Sestili?
Yes, thank you. Max Sestili, Stormwater Manager for the city. First of all, Mrs. Mayor, let me thank you for the tie comment. This is the first time I've worn one, and I only have two. The other one, the wife says, is kind of gloomy, so that helps me out. I don't have to go shopping, thank God.
Put it back up.
Yeah, you can keep it for
But we
next
are
fall.
seeking approval for a condemnation for an easement through eminent domain to facilitate the repair of a concrete stormwater drainage structure that has collapsed. The actual collapse is in the backyard of 214 7th Street, which is in District 3, but is failing also in the backyard of 212 7th Street, where the condemnation is being requested. 212 7th Street is also in need of repair. It is also failing, not as bad as the place next door, but we need to get in there, and that's the only access that we can utilize is through that property. The structure is a concrete box, approximately 6 feet wide by 4 feet tall. It runs from north to south through the backyards of this property, not through the houses by any means. The culvert drains a large portion of the watershed, numerous homes, and streets to the north. The property right now is a rental property, and last time I looked at it a week ago, there was nobody, it was vacant still, nobody living in it. We have attempted to contact the owners through a letter by regular mail, a letter left on their doorstep, a phone call, a certified letter which was signed for, but never had any return communication from the owners, and I'm not exactly sure why. We had an official before and after appraisal done, which came to $1,000, which the Stormwater Division will pay to the homeowners, assuming this goes through. The property will in no way be adversely affected by this. As a matter of fact, it should look better than it does now when we're finished with it. We'll plant grass again, put the fences back up, and they'll never know we were even there. But they will have a structurally sound box in their backyard rather than one crumbling. Any questions?
Mayor, I'll just elaborate on the process. Assuming that the board should approve this ordinance this evening, a copy of the ordinance along with the appraisal will be submitted to Circuit Court. I'll file a petition. It will actually be a lawsuit for the condemnation and eminent domain taking. Ask Doretha Yates's department to issue a check in the amount of $1,000, deposit that with the Circuit Clerk's office, and obtain an order of possession from the judge in order for the contractor to begin work immediately. The property owner will be served, will have an opportunity to respond to the complaint, dispute if they feel like that's not just compensation for this taking of an easement. And if they do, they will be entitled to a jury trial on those damages. But the appraisal that has been obtained seems to be sound, and we should be able to defend that quite well.
Okay. And there's
So
no
we will
property.
always have access
Yes.
to that property.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We don't have a property owner here, do we?
No.
Nobody's showing up. Okay. Any questions? Any questions for Max? Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you so much. Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, would you please call the roll?
Garcia.
Aye.
Folly.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
McCabe.
Aye.
Carney.
Aye.
Adopted.
The next item of business is to consider ordinance number 01337. First of all, I will entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read by title only. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Council, would you please read the ordinance by title?
Ordinance 01337, an ordinance authorizing amendments to the budget of the City of Hot Springs, Arkansas for the year 2013 and for other purposes. That concludes your reading, Mayor. If you now entertain a motion and a second to adopt and have discussion, if any.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, and Doretha.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Tonight, staff has 3 budget adjustments that we'd like to recommend to you. 2 of those is for items that you approved in the consent agenda. One of them was for the services related to the case management software for municipal court and $50,000. We're asking you for a budget adjustment for that. These funds will come from the District Court Automation Fund. This is a fund that is restricted to items related to district court automation. And there is sufficient funding in that fund to provide this amount. The next item that you approved was you approved a chiller replacement and other a project related to the improvement of heat and air at the police department. We had originally budgeted $65,000 in the 2013 budget. The project came in. We looked at it, made the project a little bit bigger than what we had originally planned to. It made more sense economically. We'll also be getting back some money from Clear Result on that. So in order to do that project this year, we need to borrow a little extra money. We already have an agreement in place to borrow funds. So this budget amendment will give us extra borrowed funds, $60,800. There'll also be a small amendment for the principal and interest payments for this for half a year. That amendment is for $6,300. And these funds are available in general fund and through the borrowing process. The last adjustment we're asking for is an adjustment for the airport to purchase a dump truck. It's $15,000. A dump truck came available through street, selling it through surplus, and airport had a need for a dump truck. This was a good way for them to get one and save some money. So this adjustment would come out of the airport funds, and there are sufficient funds to fund this adjustment as well.
Okay. Do we have any questions? Any questions for Doretha? Okay. Thank you very much. Hearing no discussion, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Davidson.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
McCabe.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Foley.
Aye.
Carney.
Aye. Wow. That concludes the business for tonight. Are we in shock? Should we just hang out here? Are there any comments from the members of the board? Do you have any? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to publicly thank Police Chief David Flory. Earlier this month, he spoke at a community meeting in District 5 and did a fantastic job. The public that were in attendance, there were some items that they brought to him that he did follow up on, and I received very, very good favorable feedback from the citizens and wanted to publicly thank him and our Hot Springs Police Department for all they do all the time.
Good. You have?
Yes, I would like to just express my personal thanks to the city manager for his work on the water issue. I mean, this has been an issue before the city for many years, and his hard work has brought it together rather quickly. Not only quickly, but competently. So thank you, David.
Thank you, Boardman.
Okay.
I asked who was in charge, didn't it? You always do.
Kind of pass that one around, don't we?
Mayor, I would just like to publicly recognize my RN nurse. She's out in the audience.
Oh.
And she was so good to me when I was ill. And, you know, you just appreciate people when they appreciate you and show you their appreciation. She's also a member of Phoebe. And I don't know if you came to see me or you're representing Phoebe, whichever, it's all right. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Okay, and then I do want to let you know that this week our town will be full of all the mayors and the city directors and city officials from all the cities in Arkansas. So if you see people on the street, be really nice to them and help us out with hospitality, because we have a big convention here this week. And so, maybe they just need directions or, where to go for a nice lunch or something. I'm trying to get them to stay 3 or 4 extra days and enjoy Hot Springs. So we will have all of those over here at the Convention Center starting tomorrow, registration, and then ending on Thursday, right? Friday. I end on Thursday, yeah. So, okay, and any other announcements? Okay. Immediately following the adjournment of tonight's business meeting, there will be a public commentary here in the board chambers. And for those of you who will be leaving, please do so quietly. And we will have a few minutes of transition before Mr. Lewin comes. Okay.